Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're in the world. Tonight's another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards, Mage Edition, where the technocrats, with the ex-technocrats and the technologically adept mages, are asking questions of a psychotic, hyper-intelligent, first-generation AI that's in control of an entire testing facility.
Normal day.
Yep.
Totally normal for us.
You are currently using the quantum entanglement communicator, similar to the one that Trezekis had, to ask these questions to GLaDOS. So, the first three questions, who made you, is quickly answered by Dimitri of basically says Technocracy. Number two, let's go ahead and actually throw all this in. So number one, go ahead and ask your question and your questions, and the other PCs will stop you where appropriate before it actually gets to GLaDOS.
I would say by the time he gets to question number 2 or 3, when we realize what kind of direction these questions are going, either Dimitri or Asuka is going to be moving very close, or else Dimitri's going to be like, yeah, we need to put a delay button on this thing.
Yeah, because it is a quantum entanglement communication device.
Yeah, so he'll just be ready to be like, no, we don't ask that.
Alright, GLaDOS, I did your test, and now I got some questions for you.
Very well, I'm here. You can ask your questions. You performed acceptably in your testing.
Alright, I would care to, am I asking all of them, or just the ones we talked about?
Go ahead.
You're asking all of them,
And
but
Alright.
be aware Dimitri and Oscar are hovering around you, and they're going to interject.
Who made you?
We can answer that one, Dimitri.
In short, rather than make it into a long and drawn-out answer, she was constructed by the technocracy.
Interesting.
It is, after all, a technocratic facility.
Of course. What is the purpose of your creation?
I
You got that one.
believe she's an administrative testing AI for Deepwater.
There are very few like her, if any. Quite unique.
I am quite unique. Even your own attempts at AI creation are amateurish at best.
We worked with what we had clearance for. I'd like to think it was a entrepreneurial design. Sorry, innovative is the word he's looking for, hilariously enough. Anyways, continue.
Why is there nobody at the lab but us?
Dimitri, do you want to handle this one?
Do you want the long answer or the short answer, Castle?
Let's go with the short answer, not waste GLaDOS' time.
They all died.
Let's read them. Moving on.
And Dimitri's Asuka's gonna have to grab it this time because Dimitri's literally still face palming.
Oh god. Sorry. What system do you want?
She actually grabs him.
I'm sorry, that didn't transmit.
No. There was a minor glitch in the communications network for a second. Sorry, we've got it under control now.
How are you?
Very well, you may continue.
He's just looking at you like, no. No. And he's making a frantic motion.
Asuka's making the throat cutting gesture, as in, this will get you killed.
So is Dimitri, no, kill it, don't do it. Okay. At this point, Dimitri's just going to be basically cover the microphone for a second, just be or hit mute or whatever, and just look at Castle and say, okay, what's your next question?
You're gonna hate it. I've seen that you have had test areas around the place. How many are there, and what all tests are there?
She's not going to tell you. I can tell you that right now. It's very that would require more clearance than any of us had.
Yeah.
And simply asking that sort of question could get you in a lot of trouble with her.
I
Not
don't
that
even
she
think
would-
Smith has the clearance for that one.
Oh.
He might. That's debatable.
Maybe.
In any case. Okay, what's the next one?
You guys would notice suddenly there's a new device in the building.
Did
Oh,
she
God.
literally... What did she... What?
It appears to be some kind of dispenser.
GLaDOS. They're not
I had it
under
on-
the testing facility.
I had this thing on mute, I'd like to point out.
No, she's just, just in case.
Dimitri's gonna be like... He's still got it on mute. He's just gonna look at Castle and be like, you see that? That could kill all of us right now.
Eh.
Oscar looks at the microphone.
He's going to
Shakes her head.
He's very carefully going to take the mute off and say, I see you've sent us a sample. I believe we'll put that in storage and take a look at it later, if that's all right, once we're done talking.
Of course, do not touch it until we are done. It is a sensitive piece of equipment containing one of my personal specializations.
Do you mind if I take a look at the electronics?
Once we're done, maybe?
Once I've inerted it.
Thank you very much, GLaDOS.
Yes. Okay. He's going to mute again for just a second. Okay, Castle, what's the next one? He's not even going to take a chance. Like, I know out of character the next ones are
in
good.
there. I seen some zombies. I think I heard something about head crabs.
Oh, yes, we can ask that. What's the next one? He just wants to get through all of them. That way, he knows what's coming up.
Yeah. What creatures are in there? I seen some zombies, and I think I heard someone missing the head crabs.
You already asked that one.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Next one. Number 7 was your next one, and then number 8.
Unlike the others, he looks around. I see experiments. I find them interesting, but it would seem that they tend to do.
Basically, you're saying they tend to get harder.
Yeah, harder and harder. And your clones, they tend to die.
Oh, so you're basically asking if, like, how does she get test subjects?
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually a valid question for her. She might give you a snarky answer, but that is a valid question.
Yeah.
And the last one?
You can get
If you want to skip that one out of character, that's fine. It's a good idea.
Yeah. I'll look at that one out of character.
Okay, in that case, he'll unmute and basically say, all right, I think we've got the communication grid functional again. And he looks at Castle like, go ahead, don't get us killed.
Good luck with that. What creatures are in there? I've seen some zombies, and I think I heard missing some head crabs.
No head crabs. Some macroviruses. Some phages. Are you referring to things that are in stasis, things that are running around, or things that have been created?
Well, I'm not gonna ask, everything. I just was kind of curious, what was running around at the time.
Well, hopefully there's nothing running around the facility unmonitored. I would assume not. GLaDOS is an excellent administrator.
Of course.
There is nothing unchecked running around my facility at this time. However, the things that you ran into, some of which were classified. However, the projects were unsuccessful. Creations taken from the DNA of a creature known as a puka, a creature known as a kitsune, and a creature known as a bruja.
I think we met one of the brujas.
As well as some other minor mutations based upon different viral chemical bioweapons research.
Excellent. And,
Why am I not surprised you're the one who is most interested in that?
it is my field. Anyways,
You're fortunate you did not run into the product of one of the macroviruses.
definitely. He looks at Castle for his last question.
I believe you also saw some of the bodies of my pet projects.
Pet projects?
Did we? Out of character?
Yeah, the dead body with the chest ripped open.
The Astartes.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so the Astartes are her design, or is she saying the creature?
The Homo Astartes. A
No.
improvement over the Void Engineer's own Space Marine legions.
I would definitely love to speak with you more about that at some point. I had some ideas for a more,
It was a
easily
dismal failure. They lacked any semblance of intelligence whatsoever.
Well, I had some ideas on that front, actually, but we'll discuss that later. But did you have anything else to ask, Castle, before we continue?
Yeah, one more last question. I like the others he looked around. I seen your experiment to find them interesting. It was seen that they tend to
Get harder as you progress.
yes,
Yeah.
and they tend to die. Is it hard to get more of them, or do you just come what you need?
Well, unfortunately, the clone seed tends to degrade after a while. I'm always in need of fresh subjects. Are you volunteering?
He looks at Castle and shakes his head.
Not just like a though.
I believe your testing protocols are very rigorous. It might be a little bit too much for him at the moment.
Well, my testing facilities are always open for those who wish to learn more of them, given proper security clearance, of course.
Of course. All right, so thank you for the data packet regarding Gideon. That was very informative.
He is the very example of an enlightened scientist. However, he looks at the world through rose-colored mirror shades.
I can understand that. We've all had coworkers of that nature before, and I'm sure we've had employees of that nature. It's something that runs in the family, you might say. But let's see. All right. I actually did have questions. God, well, you gotta go straight to the mic.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. As far as supernatural test subjects, you're aware of the ones that we destroyed, the clones and such, and the one body that was removed. Are there any other bodies or live samples of the common supernatural genotypes present in your facility that we're cleared to know about?
There will be a beep coming from above you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the security clearance for that information.
Fair enough. Can always push for a promotion later. He's obviously not being totally serious about that.
At that point, there will be another beep and the device will stand down.
All right. That's a relief. All right. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. Let me guess, out of character, if we continued pressing her on any of these points, it only takes 1 or 2 attempts before we die.
Yeah.
That's what I
So
figured.
choose your words carefully.
Fair enough. Don't want to reactivate the protocols. All right. Bear in mind, if you need any capable researchers to do any experimentation, not on, but to do to assist with tests being run on any other samples you may have, once we've secured transportation to and from, I would definitely be interested in assisting, provided safety regulations are being followed and such. I don't plan on getting ripped apart by a shifter or anything of that nature. But as I'm sure you've seen in my file, I have some extensive history with those.
Yes. Would highly recommend you limit access to this facility to only those of your own idiom.
Yes, speaking of which, I believe it would be fair to say that the only ones of us who have access at the moment would be myself, Miss Asuka, and Mr. King here, of course. We could consider him a deputized enlightened support specialist, something of that nature. Low-ranking clearance, but able to access the facility at will.
Rank Theta. Access will be granted.
Excellent. And at some point, we may bring. We came across some raw talent in the city. A young woman by the name of Michaela. You've seen her, I believe, in one of our communications. It's safe to say that for the moment, she should be given temporary access, depending on how things go.
Rank Omega.
Okay, yeah, definitely. If she suggests that, definitely go with
Actually, not rank Omega, rank Z.
Which basically means you're usable as zombie fodder.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rank Omega is technically above rank Alpha, so never mind.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, with that, he thinks for a second. All right, so we came up with a few basic designs, by the way, and Brett, now would be the best time as any to roll a couple things if you wanted us to. Just as if you don't want to, no big deal, we can do it another day. But I was saying this might be a good time to throw up a couple days worth of rolls and say, here you go, here's what we came up with. Yeah, exactly. And say, here's the designs we came up for the replicants. If these meet with your approval, we'll begin production.
And Asuka, the only thing Asuka has been working on aside from the replicant project recently is the bionic eye that she wants.
Which we can actually use that for the replicants, so that's actually not wasted effort.
Yeah.
This is meant to be a base model. Given it is a artificial construct, we can edit it as need. All we have to do is strap it down on a table and basically, implant a new, augmentation or something. The body would be a lot more easily altered, I guess you would say, than a living person.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'm guessing. Guys, did we say we were going to go with a obviously the brain, so to speak, is going to be mechanical. It'll have to be something fairly advanced so that it can be operated. We can make the transceiver, but we're going to have to make sure there's room in the design for Gladys to put in the shielding, or rather to tell us what the shielding should be. We'll send her the base model draft, and she can tell us what we need to do to fix it. But I'm guessing the majority of the construction is meant to be biological, or are we aiming for a metal exoskeleton or endoskeleton?
Well, that was your guys' call. Which way did you want to go?
That's what I'm asking. What do you guys want to do?
Well, Asuka would argue for a carbon nanotube skeleton so that it's both super strong and light enough to pass muster.
That's actually not a bad idea. It wouldn't be super durable, but it would be.
Actually, it would be incredibly durable.
Carbon
nanotubes would be the sort of thing you'd use for a space elevator.
You have a point, but bear in mind creating something that complicated. I mean, I know they're actually a very simple molecular design.
It would be bleeding edge. It's something we can make, but it would take a lot of industry to make it. In the real world, I mean.
Well, yeah, we've got a fabricator, so we could actually do that.
In the real world, they've actually made sheets of it.
Very nice. This is actually within it. So it's one of those things where if it were examined, it would actually be, even at that point, still passes the consensus. That's pretty awesome. It'd just be a matter of how the hell did you get this much of it and design it in this way. Okay. Yeah. So, so we'll go with a carbon nanotube endoskeleton. We're going to go with a crystal generator power core, and
standard sensor suite plus the bionic optics.
Yeah. And like I said, we will add more things to that later. I'm sure we can give her any number of augmentations and upgrades, just like we can with Cabal, but for right now we're just making a body. We want it, the main point is that she'll be able to interface with humanity. That is the goal.
I would suggest synth muscle. Synth muscle.
Synthetic muscle, of course.
Yeah. Which is it's another bleeding edge tech.
Yeah, we're going to give her artificial musculature and stuff like that. I would even suggest giving her a very simplified digestive system to support the cardiovascular system. Essentially, we're going to give her the basic, very basic biology. She'll have lungs, she'll have a stomach, she'll have, and yes, that means Gladys will be pooping in this body. That's, I know no one wants to think about that, but that, biologically speaking, that will be something she does. Because she will extract nutrients for what she's doing. Okay, so I have a very short list of subsystems that I have to come up with, and a very short list of subsystems that you guys would have to come up with as the mechanical aspect of things. Here's what it boils down to. For a mechanical aspect, the first thing you've got to do is build the, whatever you call the brain, essentially, as brief as I can possibly explain it. Number two, you got to come up with the transceiver, which is complicated enough to deserve its own role. Number three is the endoskeleton. Number four would be the sensory suite, which would include, since we're making a base model here, Brett, is it okay if we just do one roll for all the sensory packages? Because we're not making it like she doesn't have acute senses or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm passing out.
Sorry, basic sensory suite. And for me, I got to do one for synthetic muscle, one for basically cosmetics, which is like skin, hair, eyes, yada yada, makes what we need. And we also need, let's see, lungs.
Or simplify it as organs.
No, I actually have a reason I want to do this, because the cardiovascular. Oh, okay, fine.
Brett is passing out, so let's not overtax him.
All right, fine. I got it at this point. Just 4 things for you guys, 4 things for me. Simple. Okay. Number one, Brett, they need to roll the brain. I'm guessing that's going to be, for a design role, we're talking science and intelligence?
Yeah, robotics, applicable spec.
Okay. So either, I would say actually, one of you guys work on each of these projects to conserve time, because otherwise, we do the one person assisting thing, it'll make it easier, but it's going to take a hell of a lot longer. Each of you guys has the skills to work on some of this.
In that case, Byron, what's Castle's science, applicable science on this?
He's got robotics, doesn't he? Byron?
Yeah.
Sorry, what sciences do you have on your sheet?
Just give me a second.
No problem.
Because Asuka has robotics cybernetics, so
which
the
gives
eye,
you like
the eye and the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and even the transceiver is a basic engineering thing. I'd say that should be something Castle could easily do.
Yeah.
Endoskeleton design would probably be either one of you guys, arguably, and the sensory suite, either one of you guys. The only thing that's like specific would probably be the brain. But I think
Asuka will work on the brain and the
have him
sensory
work on. Okay, and he can do the transceiver and the endoskeleton. Does that work for you, Castle?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is all 4 of those roles will be intelligence plus science to design it.
The designing the transceiver will require, because you guys are going to use the same kind of transceiver that Trace has, right?
Yes, and complete with whatever kind of shielding.
It's going to need science, theoretical physics.
She's got physics.
Theoretical physics.
I don't know.
In other words, we'll need GLaDOS to actually feed us the design.
Okay.
Because what Trace has is the same device you guys were using, which is a quantum entanglement communication
Which is
device.
beyond our skill to make with magic right now. So
Yeah.
we're going to basically have to have Gladys directly feed us the shit for it, or else we could actually. What would make the most sense, Brett, is once we're ready, we basically cannibalize the transceiver out of what it's in right now and implant it into the body. But she gives us the specs for the shielding.
Yeah.
Okay, that way we don't have to create a new quantum grid. This will be perfect.
Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, so,
Okay, so-
first brain for you, Asuka.
Yeah, that's 10 dice with creative and cybernetics. Yeah.
You only get one explosion, one spec explosion, not explode again. So
That would be amazing, but no.
wow.
So
And she has mechanical aptitude too,
Yep.
as well, right?
Yeah, which for what? Yeah, so yeah, exactly.
Did you spend willpower?
yes.
That's
All right,
5 successes for a first. Do we need more for this, for the brain?
No, it's a suitable brain.
Okay, we can always improve these later, like I said. This is a base model. It's something to get her, to make good on our promise to her. Okay, next would be Castle King rolling the... well, actually, we don't have to roll the transceiver now, because we just settled that. So Castle can roll the endoskeleton design. Do you have a dice stream, Castle? Or does he usually requires Brett to roll it, I think?
I think I have to roll it, so I need to know how many dice he has.
Byron, what you got?
Byron, you're muted.
Byron.
But, Alpha,
Well, how many dice do you have for
I'm having
intelligence?
critical difficulties. I
What?
cannot, for some reason,
What?
I cannot log into my character. I can log into my other one.
That's weird.
I got them on 2 different account packs.
Brett should be able to look at your character sheet if you want.
Give me a minute. I'll pull it up.
By the way, congratulations. I gave Mitchell my congratulations on getting into Shifter ST.
Yeah.
I may actually make a Shifter in the near future now. It's that or a Quagen, but we don't have a Quagen ST right now.
I'm acting Quagen ST.
Well, I know you're dealing with a lot of shit, so I may actually just go Shifter to save you the trouble.
Hey, Brett.
Intelligence
if you
for
need-
analytical,
Mm-hmm.
science, robotics.
And he
So
does have mechanical aptitude.
yeah, so 8 dice, difficulty 4.
Exploding tens.
Yeah. You're going to say something?
If you need an AST for anything, I'm willing to help.
I appreciate it. I will be talking to you in the future about it.
Okay.
Because right now, the one thing I don't have, and we'll discuss this off camera, but yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And did you roll did you burn willpower, Byron?
He's muted again.
Sorry.
Okay, he did. Okay, so 5 successes. Is that enough to make the basic design?
Yep. That's
Okay.
good.
Last part is for you, Asuka. Basic sensory suite. 10 dice,
Yeah, 10 dice again.
and again, reduced difficulty, exploding tens.
And of course, a willpower roll.
Got it.
I think the machine is going to
Son of
take
a
notice of you.
sitch.
Son of a sitch?
She's going to roll
4
again.
successes. Alright, you're continuing?
Yeah.
3
Yeah, I think she's
4
gonna continue.
successes.
Also blowing another willpower because
No, that means this will be actually a pretty nice and sophisticated sensory suite then, most likely.
hey, Asuka's using the eye for herself at some point.
Good point. Though I will want to, for your eyes, I'm going to want to upgrade that shit. If we're actually installing that in a person, we're upgrading that. Anyways, that's another
6, 7,
8 successes.
12.
Okay.
That is
Okay,
a pretty...
Never. We're not upgrading that shit.
Oh, no,
That
no.
shit is as far up as it's going.
Yes, what that means is that it has multiple upgrade slots for sensors, and I'm going to abuse the shit out of that later.
I am okay with this.
Infrared is going to be your bitch. Anyways, okay, so now it is my turn. I got 4 things I got to roll first. I'm going to start with the base synthetic muscle, which goes over the endoskeleton you've created. Synthetic muscle, that's going to be intelligence plus science biology, I would imagine. Sound right? Intelligence plus science biology, Brett?
Yeah.
Okay. Rolling, and I'm burning the willpower. Ooh. And that's a 2 success there. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. Okay, is that enough to come up with a basic design?
Yep.
Okay. Next one he's going to do is the cardiovascular, and the only reason I'm rolling this is because we will use it for later. Okay, same deal, blowing the willpower. Good thing I blew a willpower, because I came up with a failure on that one.
Yep.
Even with the willpower. Doing it again. God damn it. That's much better. Okay. But I still think I need another roll, don't I? 5 successes is the standard for all this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck. Okay. Go on again. God damn it. Okay, that's enough to do it. That's a very nice cardiovascular system, actually.
Yep.
Okay, so that one's done. Last one, I think. Well, other than cosmetics. Lungs, burning willpower. Okay, that took care of that took it out immediately. We got enough. That's 6 for that. Actually 7 with willpower, so yeah. And the very last one, which is the cosmetics, which, by the way, we can reuse this design for Cabal, and all we'll be doing is changing the cosmetics.
Okay.
But I'll do that later.
Right.
Actually, okay. Yeah. With a willpower, that'd be 1 success.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need more than that, unless we want her to look like, a 2D cutout. She looks like a woodwife. Perfect from the front and horrible from the back. Okay, that's a total of 6 successes. 6 successes, counting the one from earlier in the willpower again. So, and I'm pretty much burned out on willpower, but we now have a functional design that we can show to her. Resume normal RP. He shows her the plan and says, "Here, we came up with this design. What do you think?"
It will work.
All right, we will begin construction and implant it at some point in the near future. Trust me, you'll know. Okay, and we will do the construction rolls another night because we're tapped out on willpower anyways. We need time to recover this shit.
And the SG is tapped out on energy.
Exactly. Okay. Ben, do you want to outro us?
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another night in Hong Kong where we make shit and it is weird.
When is it not?